Today I'm diving into Total Warhammer 3 as Angry Iron Fist, so this guy, but with one twist, I can only recruit Slayers. Luckily we have some cool bonuses to the Slayers, from the Angrim and the faction effects, and some cool units from the SFO mod. And here we are, we have some green gobos to beat, led by Crusher Backslider. We will see who will be crushed. The gobos retreated so quickly I didn't even have the time to start recording. Now the only target that's left is the leader, who didn't even want to fight us. We have lost only one Slayer and it is going into the book. Immediately after started to securing the province and picking the edict for growth, of course. We have a historic chance to finish off the Red Eye in the mountains in the south, especially since they attacked me during the siege of their last city. I don't have massive army, but we will stand tall against the Greenskins. They threw everything they had, but it is mostly goblins, so not a big of a challenge. The only thing I have to beat now is the cavalry. Well, that should be really satisfying. The whole right flank should be really damaged. And now there are only a couple of units to chase away, and the battle is won pretty much. Thanks to that glorious win, the Red Eye is no more. We can now take a break and rebuild our armies. Except we can't because that green gentleman. And we've got some problems. Azak decided to siege the Gnashalk Slayer. But even worse, he's threatening Karakajin with his main stack, which doesn't really have strong garrison. So let's just hope he doesn't attack. Meanwhile, let's just auto-resolve this trash army. Azak decided to siege the Karakajin instead. Big mistake. And now this allows us to do one simple trick. Meaning punishing Azak for even thinking he can threaten Karakajin. And I can clearly see the game doesn't favor me. We have the reinforcements from all over the place. So one tactic I will do is hide in the woods and wait for the reinforcements to come. The battle have already started and I'm mostly afraid of the Bone Giant as well as the Bone Trolls that Azak has. The most important thing was to destroy the Azak himself, so I sent all the characters I had to fight him. He didn't last long in the fight against my 7 characters. So now I have to only beat up the right wing of the Azak armies and that will be the end of it. The Azak himself decided to come back to the battlefield and now my Thunderers can easily finish him off. Didn't even lose a single unit. And I can also catch the Greenskin army, Azak army, underground. I swear going full Slayers in the Warhammer 3 is one of the most cursed things you can do in this game, but also one of the funniest. Just look at the damage we are dealing them. Greenskins picked up an ace from the sleeve, the Arachnarok Spider. Let's see how fast it will go down. So how long did it last in the battlefield? Like 10 seconds before the retreat? They stood no chance. Look at this, now he suddenly wants to make a peace, and for a pathetic 3000 only. And there it goes, the last settlement the Azak had. He, along as his faction, the Bone Atlas, are gone. We need some money, that's why we will make some trade agreements with whoever we can, but it still isn't enough. That's why I decided I will loot the vampires. They have quite sizable army, but it's mostly trash. So the plan is very simple. I'm not even waiting for the reinforcements to come. Just rush like there's no tomorrow. Well, the only problems I have is that they have the cavalry, so they can easily outmaneuver me. And their crossbows are a bit tedious, or maybe irritating I should say. But other than that, we are doing just fine. I even managed to make the reinforcements come behind their backs. Now we have to destroy their left flank and the battle is pretty much won. Those are the casualties, and now we can finish them off. Initially I wanted only to sack their settlements, but I will take their settlements instead because looting isn't really worth it. And since there is a gold here, and we need some money, the castle Drakenhof shall be rebuilt. The vampires from the east declared on me. That's pretty bad, I don't have any army there. And finally we can construct Grimnir's Monument of Karakajin, which gives us access to the Doomseekers. I can also craft the Master Rune of Gromil, which gives 50 armor, and I will give that rune to the Garagrim Iron Fist, so that he's no longer on 0 armor and has some protection. And you know, since I'm beating so hard the vampires, I think we should keep going and take even more territories. This one we can surely auto-resolve. Maybe auto-resolving wasn't the best idea. We have to fight 3 full armies, with whatever we have left. But AI started doing its thing, meaning rushing only with one alone simple hero with no support, for no reason, and there goes the second one, and there goes the third one. The funniest part is, the second one was Isabella von Karstein and the third one is Vlad von Karstein, so they are kinda sending to death two strongest characters they have on the battlefield. Literally, the two most dangerous units they have are wiped out in a matter of seconds, because the AI is not very tactical in this battle. And there it goes, finally, the main army. But without the Vlad von Karstein and Isabella von Karstein, they stand no chance against me. And here we can see another lord being beaten up. Without any strong leadership, the vampire armies will collapse at any moment. Just like that, all of the armies are suffering massive attrition due to lack of lords and the damage taken. But our situation isn't really that good. They managed to encircle us, even though they are taking attrition due to casualties. And we are losing a lot of Slayer units, but they are taking still massive damage from us, so it will be won anyway. And they are all fading away. It is kinda shame that we lost so many Slayer units though. At last we can unlock the Slayer King in the Ungrim Iron Fist skill tree, which gives passive ability Journeys and Upgraded to all the Slayers. It means they will be almost unkillable. And we can also get some cool bonuses to the Slayers from the Grimhammer Iron Fist, like the upkeep reduction cost for the Slayers. Look at those stats the Slayers now have. It is time to siege the Castle Tempelhof. I wonder if they attack me. And they have attacked me indeed. Auto-resolving means I will lose almost all of my units, so I have to fight this by myself. Well, the tactic is pretty simple. We wait in this weird looking blob and beat the hell out of them. Unfortunately, the visibility is kinda bad, but we still managed to win. The Empire is at war with the Vlad von Karstein as well, so I think the Empire will do the rest. We can do some worthless trade agreements. Most important thing is we will get money to do so. We can create Master Rune of Spite, which deals the damage to our enemies, so pretty much everyone who is and isn't in the book. And we can get plus 20% casualty replenishment rate for the Slayers, which stacks really nicely with the 17% army replenishment rate. For some unknown reason I can wipe out two full vampire armies with only my settlement garrison and lord. And Empire indeed managed to finish off the Vlad von Karstein. And right after I destroyed all of my enemies, the new one appear. Greenskins this time, again. I have unlocked a couple of turns ago the quest battle for the Slayer Crown. And this time we will use highly innovative and unusual tactic. And no, we will just rush them off. Just couple zombies and skeleton warriors. Well, they actually surprised me. They've got an undead dragon, but it is still very easy battle. Very easy win and very minimal losses. We can ask Thorgrim to join the war against the Gorbat Ironclaw. Wanted to take the Mount Gundbat for myself to achieve the victory condition number 1. We are in another quest battle, this time for the Dragon Cloak of Friskar. I guess by now you are very familiar with my tactic. Playing only as Slayers kinda forces that playstyle. Look how quickly those trolls got annihilated, only 40 seconds in combat. I love using that rune for the damage. And they started to retreat pretty early, but what did you expect from the Greenskins? I want to destroy every army that Gorbat has. That's why I moved next to that army which is plundering my lands. With a bit of luck, we will catch them in the underway, or maybe even force them to attack us, since the AI likes to attack armies on the march stance. And they did. There are a couple of strong units I didn't expect. Yeah, the first charge doesn't work that well for my Slayers. They are annihilated by the cavalry, by the monsters, but fortunately they are still standing tall against the Greenskins. The most important thing was to, as always, destroy the Lord. Gorbat this time, and look how fast his HP is depleting. That's kind of funny. The Lord with the full HP started cheating as well. Maybe that's because he's on Arachnaut Spider, so, you know, a monster. I think I made a mistake splitting up my forces into 3 pieces, because the middle and right flank are getting a lot of damage. But we have managed to defeat them at the cost of our whole army, and they have attacked us again, which is kinda sad. I don't have army to defend with, so I will have to rely heavily on my characters. Well, we won those 2 battles, but at what cost? There is still 1 army left. The greenskins, of course, not mine. So of course I'm going to attack them with only my characters and Angry Iron Fist. We can confederate the High King himself to our lands, but for some reason he lost the Karas Akarak, the Karak that should never fall, and yet they have lost it. We can do some changeling shenanigans here and give away the Castle Tempelhof to the Empire in exchange for them being my vassal. The same goes with Kislev, but I'm giving them Wandelhof. Of course I cannot give them Castle Tempelhof now. And we can also confederate Malakai Makaison, another good lord for the Slayer build. We can exchange settlements with the Kislev, so let's do that. Next step is to take back the Karasakarak diplomatically. So giving away 1 settlement for the 15,000 and exchanging Castle Drakenhof for the Karasakarak. And once the mighty capital of all dwarves is finally taken back. And we can also vassalize Belaga Ironhammer. He would even pay us to be vassalized. And now since they are also the dwarves, I can integrate them into my lands. I wanted initially to keep them as my vassal, but integration is just better. Really curious if the Rune Guardians of Karakadrin will prove themselves in the battlefield. Giving away a settlement I don't need. In exchange I will get 36,000 cash and non-aggression pact from Ikit Claw. We have also gained some cool unique items, one from the Gromlin mines and another one from the Hall of Clan Drashkarak. We've completed a legendary grudge, even though I did absolutely nothing. Yeah, of course he had to break the non-aggression pact. That's why you don't pact with Skaven. To complete Route 1 of victory conditions and achieve a total victory, you have to secure the Deadrock Gap, so the province where the Mount Gunbat is. You're on the way to do that, and you have to destroy the Lamian Sisterhood. You can also try out our Rune Guardians of Karakadrin. They look absolutely stunning, not gonna lie. You can also try out Iron Fist Slayers, so the legendary unit that SFO provides. Remember, full Modlist in the description. At last you have finally breached the gate, or destroyed the gate. Since we destroyed the gate, they have been sending everything they had, but I don't think it's going to stop us. Especially with this new spell. One of my favorite spells in the entire game, to be honest. And now the real fun begins, meaning chasing enemy across the entire map. And since it is a really big map, it will take some time, and those 2 units really proved themselves. Can't catch a break. Can I? We have managed to take one settlement from the Clan Rictus in the Dead Rock Gap, and thanks to this we won the campaign. Here we can see how our glorious empire expanded. So far we have managed to beat the Greenskins, then Azak, then Vlad von Karstein, then another vampires, we vassalized Empire and Kislev, reclaimed Karas Akarak and established the big empire. But our campaign won't be complete before beating the Clan Rictus. But for now it looks like those dudes will beat me instead. They attacked me with 3.5 stacks. I can defend only with 1 full Slayer stack. Fortunately we have the Spirit of Grungi because Malakai Moccasin is near, but I believe we can win this without the Spirit of Grungi help. The plan is to hide in the woods and let them come to us. Some weird shenanigans happened over here. It looks like they are kinda blocked on an invisible wall. I have a lot of ouch in this game and yet I never seen this. Look how massive the blob is. So forgive me, but I will have to use Spirit of Grungi. And the best part is, it won't run away because it upgraded to the maximum. The Spirit of Grungi killed over 3,000 of Skaven. And look how many still there are. It's crazy. That's actually crazy what's going on here. And for some goddamn reason they are wiggling around like crazy. I know I'm saying crazy a lot of times, but it is kinda crazy. And now we have chance of a proper battle. They are all running away. And since they have very low HP, I decided to rush them. And it was kinda a mistake. We left the woods, yet they still had some ranged units that dealt a lot of damage to us. They had also mobility advantage over us, but those are Skaven, so kinda expected. And most importantly, they had Plague Claw catapults, which dealt a lot of damage to us. So I decided to pull back and go in the woods again. Look how many reinforcements they have left. And then look at my army. I don't know how I end up in this position. The rats have encircled us, they don't run away, their artillery is destroying my slayers, and on top of that, their ranged units are absolutely pain. And now since they don't have much infantry left, I have to chase away the ranged units, with pretty much no standing army. We won, but at what cost? We don't have any army left. If they attack me again, I will be screwed. And they have indeed attacked me again. That's some peak Skaven experience. Destroy the one army so the next two will come. And I don't want to use the Spirit of Grungi this time. What the hell is that offer? They want me to have unprofitable trade agreement and also me to pay them for that? Let's destroy those two armies as a revenge for our settlement and the first Slayer stack. I want to catch them underway, that's why he will stay there. But I didn't expect they will get some more armies out of nowhere. I guess we have to defend. Except playing as Slayers means only one tactic. Attack. Defending is not an option. And we lost. I can get 6 discipline and plus 5 recruitment cost. Or 6 discipline and plus 5 recruitment cost. Love that event. By the way, look at that. 5 armies in one place. I'm not sure I can stop that. That's why we need some help. And that's why we will confederate with the Grombrindal the White Dwarf. Here we go, the Skaven attacked under settlement. The high place is where the High King probably will fall, but we will try to defend ourselves. But it doesn't look that good, we even lack the infantry to fill up the first row. And our High King has a lot of problems. I mean, he's only level 20, so it is kinda expected. He even is losing battle against the Stretch Craventail. Yeah, it looks like we will be overwhelmed just by the numbers they have. Yeah, it is lost. The high place is where the High King will fall, unfortunately. But kinda poetic at the same time. I have decided to attack the Clan Rictus in their homeland, but it didn't work. But at least those poor Slayers will die as a heroes. Well, you might wonder, where is the Angrim Iron Fist during this whole time? And he's there, next to the Skaven Blight. we are taking it right away. That will teach those ugly Skaven a lesson. I was trying to assemble an army with the Belaga Iron Hammer, and those ugly Skaven of course had to attack me. But we will try to defend nonetheless, even though we don't have much units left. Look at that Vermintide. We are completely surrounded and completely overwhelmed. But we are standing tall, and our heroes didn't even lose a single HP. I think it will probably end up as usual. We will lose all of our Slayer units. Well, we lost almost all of our Slayer units. Looks like Skaven wants to take back the Skaven Blight, but the game offers me a heroic victory, so you know, why not take that chance? Look at that, I can destroy most of the Clan Rictus armies just by one click. And I can finally push to the Clan Rictus homeland. We have completely crushed the Clan Rictus armies, so taking the whole territory is only a matter of time. We have retaken our lost settlements. We have taken Skaven Blight and defended it. Empire and Kislev are our vassals. Now the last enemy I should beat is the Gorbat Ironclaw, but maybe another time. We have a lot of money, so we can rebuild our armies pretty quickly and build up even more from those lands we have.